All right, well, you guys seen the title of this video. This is my thoughts on the Beast Broadhead after technically 2 seasons of using it. I shot one buck with it in 2023, right once they came out. And then we got, I don't know, 3 or 4 deer we killed with it, maybe more, after this. And you guys can watch this video. Let me know what you think. I want to know your guys' experience with it in the comments. The only thing is, I did lose footage of one shot, and that's a very important shot. I'm just going to explain it in the video. You guys can believe me or not believe me. I don't care, but just watch the video. Let me know what you thought. I really want to know what you guys think. If you guys have good luck with it, bad luck with it, I want to know in the comments. So thanks for watching. So as you guys saw, I hit the branch and it didn't mess the flight of the arrow up. I mean, it made the arrow go a tiny bit high, but that was it. And you'll see this deer, it just made a circle and it only went about 70 yards and just stopped for a second and fell over.
Drop him. Let's fucking go, baby. He's on the ground. Holy shit.
I did want to say one more thing on this buck. The arrow almost hit the spine directly right in line with the front shoulder. It almost hit the spine. It was that high. And the arrow, it didn't go all the way through the deer. It basically got to the skin and stopped. There was no blood because it was extremely high shot and there was no exit wound. But he didn't live for more than probably 10 seconds. This is my biggest buck I've ever shot. I missed the shot on camera because I forgot my other tripod arm, so I couldn't get the camera swung around in time. But the deer seen me, so I shot, and it turned right once I shot, and the arrow didn't go in very far at all. It just got up and got stuck in the chest cavity. Never hit a bone or anything, but it didn't go in very far. But it did so much destruction, this deer only lived for like 15 seconds. This was my first public land deer. It was in Kentucky. Came out about 3 minutes before legal shooting light and shot him right through the chest cavity, double lung, and I heard him fall over. He only went about 70 yards and started rolling down the hill. Let's wait for Nick. Should be a dead deer. Oh my God. So Zach shot this one early season. At the last second, it quartered to him, and he shot it like in the front shoulder area, and it went about halfway out of its body and was hanging out of the guts. And after what looks like 30, 40 yards, it started walking, and it walked about 100 yards and then fell over and was dead. Alright, this is the footage I lost. You guys are just going to have to believe me on this one. This doe was about 6 yards directly under me, and I shot, and the arrow skipped off of the deer's back. It literally bounced up in the air. The fletchings bounced off the doe's back, and the arrow like went tumbling. Alright, here's the deal. Got down and looked for blood for, I don't know, over an hour. And I found a few spots, mostly where the deer stopped. But look, there's a fucking spider on my face. The deer like jumped a couple times and basically just walked away, so I knew he wasn't even injured. Press the one went. There was such minimal blood. I don't know. It sucks. I don't know what happened, but. Oh, I'm very confused what happened on this shot. I really wish I somehow deleted the footage. The arrow, I'm not kidding, it went down like looked like it hit the deer, and then the fletching smacked into it, and the arrow just went tumbling. And I don't know if when that spring opened up, if it like made it jump, or if I don't, there was no twigs or no nothing in the way, but like, did it hit something, or did somehow my bow screw up? I don't know what happened, but it should have never happened. Would it, if it was a fixed, would it have went straight through the deer's spine? If it was an expandable, did it matter? I don't know. All I know is it didn't even wound the deer. The deer was perfectly fine. I looked extensively for blood and everything, never found shit. So you guys are gonna tell me, oh, just make a better shot. Well, you're not a deer hunter if you haven't made a bad shot. And luckily this deer is gonna live, so at least I'm happy about that. All right, slowed this one down. This one looks to me like about a textbook lung shot. It might be a touchback, but that's it. It was opening day in Ohio, and the deer ended up going about 150 plus yards. There really wasn't much blood. It was really hard to track it. So this shot is extremely aggravating. As you can see, the deer's directly under my tree stand, but I was too afraid he would notice me when I was drawing back. So I ended up shooting him right here. There was a tiny vine in the way, as you can see, so I aimed a little bit in front of it. I did make a good shot. I shot way too far forward, trying to avoid that tiny twig. Clearly hit it right in the front shoulder bone, and this is wild. So I knew it was a bad shot. I got down immediately, and by the time I got to the bottom of my tree stand, this doe came back in grunting. She didn't have the arrow in her. She broke it off. She came back in grunting, looking for her fawn, and I tried to shoot her. This is the Tacticam footage, and she didn't give me a clear shot. She's perfectly healthy. Nothing wrong with her. All right, you guys want to know my thoughts? I think this expandable broadhead is probably the best expandable broadhead you can get. However, there's obviously some issues, and that is that an expandable broadhead thing, or is that arrow setup thing, a bow, poundage thing, or whatever. So I think my plan is this year I got these Exodus, QAD Exodus. That's what I ended up switching to last year because I was upset about the front shoulder thing. That just drove me crazy. And then I have some iron wills, and then I think I'm gonna put a couple beasts in my quiver. I'm gonna have all three of those broadheads in my quiver. Just whatever I guess I'm feeling. I might use a certain arrow. Depends maybe if it's a certain area, if it's gonna be potential shot that maybe straight down or something, that maybe I'll put the iron will in there, or I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I really wish Bomar or somebody else could make a video. They need to have multiple bows, different poundages, different arrow grains, setups, and actually test. Like, I want to see, instead of his 90-pound bow and his 500 grain arrow or whatever, I want to see what happens when you hit the bone, what happens in each situation. I think that'd be a very good marketing thing. And even if it doesn't work, like the arrow got stuck in that doe's front shoulder for me, we need to know that, because if you want to have the best broadhead on the market, it needs to be clear and obvious that, if you're not shooting 70 pounds, or your bow's not this many feet per second, or your arrow's not this weight, you might not be able to avoid that shot. You might want to use a fixed blade. So I think Bomar would definitely make this video because he's an honest guy. I think a video like that needs to be made, and if it truly doesn't work, I don't want some 12-year-old to be using this beast broadhead because You know, he watches all these videos and, yep, this is the best broadhead, and something like this happens and he loses his deer. Like, is he going to lose that deer with a fixed blade? Maybe, who knows? Is it because of the expandable? I don't know. Maybe he's going to lose the deer regardless, but really be helpful, I think, to make a video of all different bows, all different poundages, everybody. It would suck because it would be a very long video, but I think it'd be a video everyone would want to watch because everyone has different setups. Me personally, I switched to an arrow about 150 grains heavier. We're going to try it this year. I'm at 540 grains. My bow is shooting 240 feet per second. I killed multiple deer with it last year, like probably 3, and never had any troubles. So that's my plan this year. I'm going to use all 3 of those broadheads and see. I'll give it another chance. I have not shot the beast with this heavier arrow. I don't want to take a bad shot on a deer, so I'm not going to do it on purpose. But if it happens, it happens, and we'll see. Thanks for watching. I know I was rambling a little bit, but I think it'd be good information for all the hunters in the world to have. See ya.